morning, everyone. Welcome to Mojo Monday. I have a really sweet card to make for you. And when this live is over, I will put all of the measurements in the Facebook post so that you can recreate the card. Can be used as a card template. Just write down the measurements. You could draw yourself a little picture and use it again and again. It's perfect for displaying DSP as well as one focal image on the card or not. So it's entirely up to you. So let's get started. I will show you my desktop. I'm going to switch on some lights here and we'll get started. So let's see. I need to bring this to the solo layout. Here we go. So here's my camera. Let's hope it doesn't quit out. It quit out on me this morning. I had to restart my computer. I had to restart my phone, but now it seems to be okay. Keep our fingers crossed, everyone. I was watching another crafter yesterday and I was sad for her, but I was relieved to see that she also had technical difficulties. We all have them from time to time. Things just suddenly don't work. It's just the way it is. So maybe 20 years from now, everything will work perfectly. Who knows? Anyway, all right. This is just a scrap piece of paper I have here. So here are my pieces. And the first thing you want to do is decide on the designer series paper that you want to use. I'm actually using paper from the Floral Charm Suite products. I used this on Thursday night for Case the Caddy, and I also used that same suite for my Friday morning fun fold. You can check both of those in my feed on Facebook, or you can go on over to my YouTube channel and see them there. And so I thought I would use this paper again this morning. I thought this kind of reminds me like a field of flowers, and I want to use a butterfly. So I'm pulling out our beautiful butterfly stamp set. And this came out this year in the January to April catalog. So I'm thinking it might still be online. It wasn't part of a suite, so you can just buy the stamp set, and there is also a set of dies that comes with it. And what was unique about this stamp bundle is that this die creates an open card, like a butterfly-shaped card. So it's very, very cool. Okay, so I have already cut out the butterfly to save some time. So I haven't yet lifted it off the paper, and I'm going to get rid of all the little bits here. So let me just grab my take your pick tool right here. And I'm going to poke out. I like to poke out all the random pieces while the die is still in place. I find it's a little bit easier. You're not bending the cardstock when you're doing it. It gives you kind of a solid surface to work on. So I try and poke out as many as I can, and then I poke out the outline and get it released from the die. The little tiny dots are what releases it from the die. Here we go. Just be gentle with it. Pull lightly because it is an intricate die. There we go. So you might have a few little straggler pieces to pull out. They have a tendency sometimes to hang on to the back. All right, that looks pretty good. So isn't that beautiful? Look at that. It's just gorgeous. All right, so let me just, and I do like to clean up my die ready for the next time I need to use it. So I just poked out the rest of those. Okay. So there we have this gorgeous butterfly. Okay, now the greeting I'm going to use is just a really simple hello, and I might also stamp a little butterfly on my greeting part. Now, when sometimes I end up with extra little pieces that I've already cut out for another project, but I didn't use it. So you can always pull out these extra little butterflies. This one was watercolored, and then I added some Wink of Stella on here. But I think I'm going to stamp a fresh butterfly on here. So I'm going to use this little kind of half-winged butterfly here. And we'll put that somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. And then let me just pull out the hello. It's like the butterfly is visiting your garden and it's popping in to say hello. So that's kind of a cute idea. All right, so we can start gluing these pieces together. Now I decided there's petal pink in this paper, and I decided to create the card base out of petal pink and then pull in Berry Burst as the accent color. I could have done maybe Mossy Meadow. You can, change up your colors. You could make the card multiple times and just change up the colors, and then you have a set of cards ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a nice crease. Hi, Christine. Good morning. My goodness, the summer is marching on, and I don't know. Our trip in the fall is coming up pretty fast, too. Okay, so there's our card base. I decided to go with a tent fold. A portrait style tent fold for this card. You could design it this way perhaps as well, however you want. Okay, now I'm just going to glue this onto here. And as I was saying earlier, Christine, I'm going to put all the measurements in the description so that you can reproduce this if you like. It's a nice card template. I quite like it. Yeah, so we're going to glue these two pieces together. Let me pull in my silicone mat here. How was your weekend, Christine? Do anything different or special? All right, so that is matted nicely. Okay, now I have these two pieces. I'm using all of my, so this layout, oh, what's wrong with my voice this morning? So I'm going to take a sip of my, I haven't spoken much this morning. So this card layout has the card base, and then it's got 3 different layers, okay? 2 of the layers have white on them. And this layer, the elongated layer here, I'm going to actually emboss this. Then you have your DSP with the layer, and then this is your greeting layer. So you've basically got 3 different layers to use. So let's pick out, I finally took out all of my let's see, what do I want to use? Oh, I think I might use this pressed flowers embossing folder. I like to keep all my sweet products together, but yesterday I decided to take out all my embossing folders and put them in my embossing folder box so that I can pull them out and use them for any other cards too, rather than keep them in the sweet box, because then when they're in the boxes for the sweets, I can't remember which sweet has which embossing folder. So I had to do some reorganization yesterday. So I placed this in the embossing folder so that I get this full length of this floor, this, I don't know what it is, a bush of flowers, I guess. Okay, and I'm going to put this in my machine. So Stampin' Up! Comes out with many 3-dimensional embossing folders. This one happens to be not a 3-dimensional embossing folder, so you still need to sandwich this between 2 acrylic plates and then run it through the machine. All right, so look at that. Look how pretty that looks. Okay, so I'm going to glue this right on top of this one now. And this time I'm going to pull out my Tombow glue. I'm squeezing the very last bits of glue out of this bottle. And I have another one ready to go. Okay, let's put this on here. Trying to get it nicely, evenly spaced. All right, so this is going to go on our card base like so. Then let's stamp our greeting. So I'm going to stamp this greeting in Tuxedo Black. Now, this little butterfly, oh, I might do this in, how about if we pull in some Timid Tiger, just to pull out another butterfly color. So I could do Timid Tiger, or I could stick with the Berry Burst. Let's just see. I think it'd be good to change up the color a bit. So this is where my greeting is going. So I'm just going to put this butterfly like right there. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp my greeting in the black. Okay. So you've had a nice quiet summer. Yeah, well, those are always good. Ours has been fairly quiet. We've had a few dinners out on our patio. We went to Vancouver last weekend to celebrate my sister's birthday. Because it's on the long weekend, typically every year we head over. We've kind of created a family weekend that weekend and then celebrate her birthday. So that was kind of fun. And she actually ordered herself her own cake. My sister's so funny. She figures, oh, nobody's going to do it for me. I'm going to have to do it myself. And she has a famous, you know, says if you want to get anything done, you got to do it yourself. Isn't that the expression? Anyway, she ordered this cake from a lady who has a home-based business. She does everything from scratch and everything is natural products. She even makes her own whipped cream. So, and my sister is nuts about pink cakes. And that happened because she was visiting here years ago, and I took her to this bakery called Pure Vanilla, and they used to do these adorable layered pink cakes, and we got one and had it after dinner when she was visiting, and she just fell in love with this pink cake. So she ordered a pink cake from this lady with a lemon. It was a lemon cake, and it was absolutely delicious. Okay, we're going to glue this on to the card base. Once you've cut your layers, all your pieces, it's pretty easy to put together. So we're going to layer this on here like this. Okay. And then we're going to put this one on. Let me just grab my tape here, and I need to look at my measurements here. We're going to put this one on here like this. This is going to go up a little bit higher. And then I'm going to put my butterfly here like this. So this is kind of the layout. I don't know. I don't know that I like that orange on there. What do you think, Christine? Because I forgot about this butterfly. This is going on. Yep, I think I need to do that over again because I want to put my butterfly on here. So let's pull out my art. I have two take your pick tools because I'm lazy. And I don't like changing the ends, so I'm just going to slide this under here. And I'm going to pull this off. And of course, now that it's got glue on it, I can't stamp over the other side. So I'm going to have to cut another piece. Okay. So this piece measures, yeah, this scrap will work. This piece measures 1.5 by 1.5 by 2.5. Okay, so let me pull out my 1.5 by 2.5. One and a half. The birds are happy. Filled up the bird feeder yesterday. So they're happy. Okay, so let's stamp hello again in black. So let me just see here. I'm going to put this on. It's going to come down here like this. You want these 3 corners to display because it kind of gives you like a stepped thing. I just want to see where my butterfly is going to go as to where I do my hello. I'm going to put the hello in the bottom right-hand corner here. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you plan a design and it doesn't quite work out, so you have to start over. That's okay. Now I'm just going to get my bone folder. I've got that little bit of a ridge on here. Sometimes when you cut your paper on your trimmer, you end up with a little kind of a ridge. So I just want to smooth that down a little bit. Okay, so now we have got this one on, and we're going to put this one on. And maybe this one, yeah, I don't think I'm going to add any extra layers on here. Let's just glue this on. So this is going to go up here. Make sure that's nice and straight. And then this one's going to go here. I want DSP to show through here and here. Okay, let me close up my ink pad. Yes, it is just paper. You're right. And we have a lot of it. Okay, and then I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on my butterfly. And this card will be done. Now, I pulled out my little... Okay, I'm still struggling with these little... these little nibbed... Okay, where are my pins? I thought I had it solved by getting air going in there. Here we go. But every now and then they just seem to still clog up. I don't use it often enough. I think that's the problem. I should just use this as my Tombow glue dispenser all the time. And then I don't think I would have a problem, but I use the bigger bottle as well. All right, so there's our butterfly. And we're going to lay that like that. And I'm going to grab scrap paper, put it on top, and then press it down. Yes, my glue press. Okay. It started to, how do I say to you? Well, when it got low of glue, it just wasn't working for whatever reason. So I think you always have to have the bottle full. So I need to really, I've been lazy. I need to refill that bottle. I think it needs, somehow it just needs the weight of the glue to keep it flowing. But it just, every time I picked it up, there was still, I'm going to say a quarter of glue. A quarter of the bottle was still had glue in it, but it would not squeeze out. So I just, tossed it aside and just kept crafting with other stuff. But I'll have to fill the bottle to the top and see if that works. I saw it the other day and I thought, yeah, I should start using that again. I've got lots of Tombow glue, so it's not like I don't have any more glue to fill it up with. All right, so there is our card. Now, I still think it needs a few little gems on here. So I'm going to pull out the gems from the Floral Charm Suite, because there's Berry Burst and Petal Pink in here, which is perfect for our card. So I think I'm going to use the, I think I'll put a, I think I'll put a Petal Pink one for the, okay, what happened to my little, there it is. These little lids are really easy to lose. Okay. Yeah, let's do a little Petal Pink one for its head here. Okay. And then I'm going to do, let's say one here. And we'll do one here. Okay, that's probably good. All right. So there is your card. And then on the inside, I'll put a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white. And then when I was cutting my DSP, I did have a strip left over. So I've got this and I've got, let's put this on the inside of the card. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch already pre-cut. So I had this strip left over. So I will, let's glue this on here. And then I might stamp a couple of little butterflies. I'm just leaving a bit of a white border on the edge. I like to do that. Okay, and then we could stamp a smaller butterfly. I don't think you can have too many butterflies. What do you think? Here's this other butterfly. You could stamp this on here. And I'm going to do this in, I'm going to stick with this color. Oh, geez, I just stamped. See that? I just stamped the wrong side. It's good to have handy wipes handy. I have this big bag of handy wipes. It's the Econo size, but I would really rather have it in a, see, it's in the bag. And I need the, I thought I had a dispenser and I can't find it anywhere. So I'm going to have to order another one. All right, let's do this butterfly in here. Okay, and while I have that stamp out, I'm just going to grab an envelope and now what I like to do with butterflies is I'm going to stamp it full strength and then I'm going to stamp it 3 times to make it look like it's flying. Okay, so there is our card. Let's put this on the inside of our card now. So I love this template. What do you think? I think I'm going to make a lot of, I like this corner here. I think I'll make a few more cards today. And there we go. Look how pretty. Once you put that inside, look how pretty. It just jumps out. There you go. There's your card. There's your inside. There's your envelope. Thank you, Christine. It is pretty. Well, it's the papers that do it, right? The papers and the color combination, and you become an instant artist, and people think you're just so talented. That's what I love about Stampin' Up. Okay, let me pull my face forward again and say goodbye. Thanks so much for coming in. Oh, Sharon is here. Hi, Sharon. I'm sorry I didn't see you earlier. Sorry about that, love. Anyway, yeah, there you go. There's your card. And I'll give you the measurements. I'll go back and edit the post and give you the measurements. Then you can make one of your own. Thanks so much for watching, ladies. We'll see you again on Thursday night for Case the Caddy. Bye for now.